I think it's good.
I awaken. No recollection of where I was, or even what brought me to this place. I was just here. No memory at all from before. No following thoughts of what's to come. Just here. I got up from where I had been lying and looked around me. There I stood in a place unlike anything I had ever seen. It was like darkness, but also it wasn't. There were just no words in my vocabulary to describe it. A place, a space that was void. But it didn't feel like the conventional negative idea of a void. Sure, there was nothing. However, it felt like there didn't need to be. Darkness and void. The only two words I could think of to describe this place, and neither one did any justice of capturing what I was experiencing here. Some discomfort began welling up inside as I desperately searched for a word, verb, anything that would describe where I was in my state of being. I needed to be understood. Shoot, I needed all to understand me. But nothing. I stood there, but the place didn't feel the same. It sort of took on a different experience. It was saddening. Now that was a word that did my description justice. It was then and only then when I understood something that I experienced before this change. Joy. I was feeling joy even though there was nothing physically happening. I felt peace. There hadn't been anyone physically here since I woke up, and yet now the feeling of loneliness was painstakingly apparent. Trapped, weighed down, suppressed, cold. Now the words flowed, poured, rushed, gushed out, able to describe perfectly my experience of this space. Everything I was feeling didn't feel right. As if these different feelings were foreign to me and to this place. In the sense that they existed and yet were never meant to exist within me. Like it existed only because it were the direct opposite of what I was meant to experience. Peace, joy, love. Everything I had felt right after waking up in this place. Just like how there would be no darkness without light, so there could be no negative without its positive. No sadness without joy. This space didn't feel like darkness in the conventional sense. Neither did it feel like light, as I was familiar. However, it did feel like peace. That which was unmeasurable. That more than I could and would ever think to even ask or imagine myself having. It was like my brain didn't understand, but my body did, which brought me ease. It also didn't feel foreign to me, as if this was how it was meant to be. Breathing deeply in and out, I took a step in the direction I was facing, only now realizing this whole time I hadn't taken a single step since waking up. A lot had happened, and I've been in the same place I had been in. I took another step, noticing now the weight I could feel with each step. I hadn't noticed them before. Had they been weighing me down this entire time, keeping me cemented in this single space? Or had it come on to me at some point? As I continued taking more steps, I began to feel lighter, as if the pounds of weight were falling off with each step. I began picking up speed as I ran, not worried about the destination or the discomfort I seemed to acquire in not being able to perfectly describe my experience. I jumped and twirled, arms spread out wide, mocking the movement of a helicopter seat. Landing back down, I cartwheeled and rolled on the ground, embracing a sense of freedom, welcoming back that experience of joy, and returning back to that warm state. Another word to describe how I felt before the change. A wave of peace washed over me, as a beautiful instrumental began to chime in around me. The keys of a piano, so perfect, so fitting. I danced along with the notes as we swayed forward, not sliding to the left or the right, leaving behind the discomfort I felt trying to describe. Why did I feel tied down and needing to explain and be fully understood? Pushing through, I could feel its grip getting weaker. I could feel my release from its stronghold as the warmness returned to me. The feeling of loneliness was gone. So too the feeling of sadness. I danced and twirled, jumping into the air with a grace only one who could care less about how they looked on the outside could carry. It was then, and only then, that a statement came to mind. One that, with everything that's happened, couldn't help but bring a smile to my face. Peace within the present. That felt like something that could perfectly describe what I'd experienced.